And welcome in everyone to the Matsu Miners broadcast here as Game 2 is about to get underway here at Herman Brothers Field. Matsu Miners taking on the Anchorage Glacier Pilots. Game 1, Miners were able to shut out the Glacier Pilots and win that ball game 3-0, helped by a Cody Huff solo home run in the first inning to get everything going for the Miners, and they continued off that momentum to win that ball game 3-0. Also great pitching by Kyler Bush and a save by Jacob McNary. But the game right now, just as important for the Miners as every game from here on out is important if they want to host round one. And we'll get into that Miners defensive alignment right away. Robbie Brew is behind the plate. He'll be catching Brett Irwin as the UC Davis baseball pitcher will get the start on today's ball game. Aaron Walters will be at first, Tyler Porter at second, Caden Hogan at short, and Tanner Carlson is at third. Kobe Boulware will be in left field, Eric Webb in center, and Colin Montez is in right. Malcolm Tipler heads in to the left-handed batter's box and is about to get this ball game underway. The Pilots lineup is looking like Malcolm Tipler is batting first, Alex Baeza second, and Garrett Spain batting third, all due up in this top of the first inning. But Brett Irwin will toe the mound right now. Kick and deal the first pitch of the ball game. Grounded over to second baseman Tyler Porter. He'll field it, fire on the first in time for out number one. One pitch, one out. To start the first inning doesn't get easier than that for Brett Irwin. Irwin on the season 1-3 with a 4.65 ERA. Faced the Pilots in his first appearance as a Miner, as the first pitch to Alex Baez is in there for a called strike one. He lost that ball game in 4 innings pitched and gave up 3 earned runs. So the 0-1 on its way, misses low, and the count leaving up at 1-1. Back to that Pilots lineup as Irwin gets ready with the 1-1 pitch. As that's grounded over to second baseman Tyler Porter again. He's getting some work in early on as he'll fire on to first in time for out number 2. So the lineup for the Pilots, after at Baeza, Garrett Spain to follow, and then Matt Otino's in the cleanup spot. Zach Morgan's batting 5th, followed by E.J. Andrews, George Mendozona, and Bradley Knighting. Then in the 9th spot, rounding everything out for the Pilots lineup, is Zach Segal. Irwin ready, pitching to Garrett Spain at the plate, as that's in there for a called strike one on the inside part of the plate. No balls, 1 strike and 2 outs. As Irwin gets set and ready on the mound, the 0-1 offering. Misses low for ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike, and 2 outs here in the top of the first inning. 2 up, 2 down, all set down on a ground out to second base. Irwin trying to get out of this top half. 1-2-3, 1-1 pitch on its way, fouled straight back, and the count moved to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Matt Otino stands in on deck as the Pilots down 2 outs now in the first inning. 1-2 pitch on its way, grounded over to short. Caden Hogan fields it, fires on to first in time for out number 3. 3 up, 3 down, a perfect inning for Brett Irwin, setting them all down on ground outs. No runs on no hits, no errors, and no runners left on. We head to the bottom of the first inning. We have a tie ball game at 0. And here we are in the bottom half of the first inning. 1, 2, 3 for the Pilots. They went in the top of the first. Here we are in the bottom half of the first inning. Your Miners are looking like offensively. Colby Boulware is starting things off. He's batting in the leadoff spot. Batting second, Cody Hoff coming off a red-hot game. The game before this one where he had a home run and a triple. And then Eric Webb to follow. And those three batters are all due up in this inning. First pitch on its way from Nick Johnson as that's grounded over to short. Matt Otino fields it, fires on the first in time for out number 1. So back-to-back half innings where the leadoff man swings and grounds out on the first pitch, which will bring up Cody Huff to the plate. Back to that Miners lineup. Colin Montez is batting 4th. Tanner Carlson 5th. Aaron Walters is in the 6th spot, followed by Robbie Brew, Tyler Porter, and then rounding things out in the 9th spot is Caden Hogan. Cody Huff settles in the right-handed batter's box as the first pitch to him misses for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes, and 1 out as Cody Huff gets ahead early on. Last game in the first inning, he set a ball soaring out to left field to put the Miners up 1-0, and he'll line that one into right center field. Running over is E.J. Andrews, and he'll make the catch as he slides in and is able to make the catch for out number 2. So quick 2 outs just like the top half of the first inning brings up Eric Webb. The Pilots are looking like defensively. Nick Johnson is pitching, and he'll be pitching to Zach Morgan behind the plate. Alex Baez is at first, Malcolm Tipler at second, Matt Otino is at short, and George Mendozona is at the hot corner. 1-0, first pitch to Webb on its way is in there for a called strike 1. No balls, 1 strike, and 2 outs to Eric Webb at the plate. The outfield for the Pilots is looking like Bradley Knighting in left, E.J. Andrews in center, and Garrett Spain is in right as the 0-1 pitch is lined down the third base line in foul territory. No balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. To Eric Webb at the plate. Pitch from Johnson on the way, just misses outside, and the count will go. We'll even up at 2-2. Johnson ready on the mound. The 2-2 pitch misses in the dirt for ball 3. Nick Johnson out of UC Davis. We have a UC Davis versus UC Davis pitching matchup here at Herman Brothers Field for this ball game. Johnson 1-1 on the season with a 2.95 ERA in 8 appearances. The payoff pitch on its way, grounded right back to Johnson, goes off his glove to the shortstop. Matt Otino unable to barehand it, and Eric Webb will stand in at first. So Miners get things going with 2 outs as they'll give Eric Webb the infield single. So Eric Webb stands in at first. First base runner today's ball game and first hit, which will bring up Colin Montez to the plate. Johnson making his 3rd start on the season. Has pitched 24 1/3 of an inning with 14 strikeouts to only 3 walks. He loves to throw strikes as the first pitch to Montez is in there for a called strike 1. Eric Webb with 12 steals on the season. A speedy base runner stands in at first. Montez stands in at the plate. The 0-1 offering, Webb is going, and that ball is popped up and out of play. So Eric Webb will have to go back to first. Montez stands in at the plate with an 0-2 count. Tanner Carlson stands in on deck with Aaron Walters in the hole. Miners try to get a 2-out rally here in the first. Eric Webb gets his lead off of first. He was stealing on the last pitch. Johnson ready with the 0-2 pitch. That ball is popped up. That will possibly stay into play. The catcher, Zach Morgan, retreats and makes the catch for out number 3. So Miners will leave 1 on 1 hit. No errors and no runs scored. We had the top of the second inning. We are scoreless here at Herman Brothers Field. Matt Otino to get things going for the Glacier Pilots here in the top of the second inning. As Irwin comes in off of a quick first inning of work, 3 up, 3 down. And he looks to continue that work here. First pitch to Otino, right down the middle. Fastball for strike one. No balls, 1 strike, and no outs on a scoreless ball game here in the second inning. Second game of the doubleheader as the 0-1 pitch misses outside for ball 1. Miners were able to take that opening game here on this beautiful Sunday afternoon, 3-0, as they look to continue and keep that up and win this one. 1-1 pitch on the way, misses outside in the dirt for ball 2. Originally was supposed to rain all day today, has appeared to back off as it's nice and sunny, partly cloudy skies as the 2-1 pitch is lined down the first base line, but that'll trail foul, and the count will even up at 2-2. 4, 5, and 6 hitters due up for the Pilots. Zach Morgan and E.J. Andrews will wait their turn as Otino will lead things off here. Irwin kicks and deals the 2-2 pitch as Otino's caught looking for strike 3, and Otino is set down on strikes for the inning's first out. First strikeout on the day for Brett Irwin as Zach Morgan will head to the plate and see what he can do. Morgan stands in the right-handed batter's box. 1 out here in the top of the second inning. First pitch to him on its way, grounded over to short. Caden Hogan feels it, fires it down to first, and Zach Morgan is retired. So 1 pitch, a ground out from Zach Morgan for the second out of the inning. Brings up E.J. Andrews to the plate. And Brandon, so far on the day, the only long at bat was Matt Otino, which he was able to strike out. So Brett Irwin working really efficiently.
Irwin, a good control pitcher. He keeps the ball very low in the zone, as we've seen here in the first 2 innings of this ball game. These Pilots hitters trying to attack him, but haven't been able to do too much. 4 groundouts and a strikeout. Good, efficient working here from Brett Irwin.
As the 1-0 pitch fouled in to Robbie Brew behind the plate, and the count leaving up at 1-1 strike. Irwin looking to work quickly here again and pitch another 3 up, 3 down inning. As Irwin ready with the 1-1 pitch. As that ball just missed on the outside part of the plate for ball 2. Scoreless ball game here at Herman Brothers Field, 0-0. In the top of the second inning, as the 2-1 pitch on its way, grounded to Tyler Porter at second. He backhands it, fires to first over Aaron Walters' hand. And that will go off of the Miners' dugout. So E.J. Andrews will stand in on first on the error by Porter. So chalk that down as an E4. Andrews now stands in at first with George Mendozona coming to the plate. So instead of being the third out of the inning, there's a runner now at first with 2 outs. First error on the day for the Miners from the first game and now into the second game as Andrews stands in at first. First pitch to George Mendozona in there for a called strike 1. No balls, 1 strike, and 2 outs to Brett Irwin on the mound. Irwin checks off the runner at first. Gets ready to get the belt on the mound. Looks in for his pitch signed by Robbie Brew. 0-1 pitch on its way is fouled right into Robbie Brew behind the plate. And the count will move to no balls and 2 strikes. Bradley Knighting stands in on deck with 1 runner on and 2 outs. Irwin agrees quickly with the first sign given to him. Gets set and ready on the mound. Looks in, the 0-2 pitch on its way, swung on and missed for strike 3. So Irwin's second strikeout of the inning and the ball game for the 3rd out, as the Pilots will leave 1 runner on 1 error. No hits and 1 runner left on. No score through 1.5 innings. We head to the bottom half of this second inning. We are at 0-0. Tanner Carlson stands in the right-handed batter's box here in the bottom half of the second inning. This game off to a quick pace of play as we're right at the 20-minute mark here in the bottom half of the second inning. First pitch on its way to Tanner Carlson, popped up to left field. Bradley Knighting under it, barely having to move, and will make the catch for out number 1. So chalk that down as an F7 if you're keeping score at home. Bringing up Aaron Walters to the plate. Five, 6, and 7 hitters due up for the Miners with 1 out here in the bottom half of the second inning. As Walters stands in. Ready with the pitch is Nick Johnson. First pitch swinging is Aaron Walters, running to his left is Bradley Knighting. He'll retreat as fast as he can, but unable to track that down in foul territory. And the count will move in Johnson's favor at no balls and 1 strike. Robbie Brew stands in on deck with Tyler Porter in the hole. 0-1 pitch from Johnson on its way. Hits that outside part of the plate. The count moves to no balls and 2 strikes. Johnson ready with the 1-1 pitch. As that just misses outside, says the home plate umpire. 1 ball, 2 strikes and 1 out. As the 1-2 pitch is popped up on the infield. Matt Otino says he's got it, under it, and makes the catch for out number 2. That brings up Robbie Brew to the plate. 1 hit so far in the day for the Miners came from Eric Webb in the first inning. Robbie Brew stands in now with 2 outs here in the second. First pitch to him on his way is a fastball right down the middle for strike 1. As Robbie Brew gets set and ready in the right-handed batter's box. Right-handed pitcher Nick Johnson ready with the 0-1 pitch, and that's in there for a called strike 2. Brew now down the count, no balls to 2 strikes. As Nick Johnson trying to get himself another 1-2-3 inning here. Thought he had him with that pitch, but just outside. As he was halfway to the dugout. 1 ball now, 2 strikes, and 2 outs here in the bottom half of the second inning. Miners and Pilots tied at 0 as the 1-2 pitch checked his swing as Robbie Brew, first base umpire on the appeal, says he did not go around. And we have 2s on the board here in the second inning. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. Johnson kicks and delivers the 2-2 pitch. That's lined down the first base line, but that will go foul. And the count will remain 2-2. Robbie Brew gets set and ready on the right-handed batter's box. The 2-2 pitch from Johnson on its way. Checked his swing. Home plate umpire says he went around for strike 3. Nick Johnson's first strikeout of the day and the 3rd out of the second inning. Handed it over to Brandon Monty for the 3rd, 4th, and 5th inning. As the Miners went 3 up, 3 down, on no runs, no hits, no errors, and no runners left on. We are to the top of the 3rd inning at a scoreless ball game here in Palmer, Alaska.
First batter for the Pilots will be Bradley Knighting in the top of the 3rd inning, as we're still scoreless here at Herman Brothers Field in Game 2 of this doubleheader between the Miners and the Pilots. Brandon Monty with you alongside Nick Veland, bringing you Matsu Miners Baseball on YouTube Live. Brett Irwin back out on the hill. First pitch to Knighting on the way. Fastball misses low just below the knees for ball 1. Smooth sailing so far for Irwin. 2 scoreless innings, no hits, only 1 base runner that reached on an error. As the 1-0 pitch is lined into center field, Eric Webb running to his right makes the catch in the left center field gap for the 1st out of the inning. 2 pitches, 1 out for Brett Irwin to start the top of the 3rd as Zach Segal, the 9th hitting designated hitter, trots into the right-handed batter's box. Righty on righty matchup. Irwin goes into his windup. First pitch. Fastball paints the outside corner. Called strike 1. Seagal just 6 for 34 hitting in July thus far. So he awaits the 0-1. Fastball misses low and outside and gets away from Robbie Brew into the grass behind home plate. It's the count now 1-1. Brett Irwin in his 8th appearance on the year, 5th start, is 1-3 with a 4.66 ERA and 19 1/3 innings of work. 1-1 pitch. Fastball paints the outside corner and the count's now 1-2. In his last outing, Irwin went 3 1/3 innings, giving up 2 runs on 4 hits and 3 strikeouts. 1-2 pitch is lined foul off one of the poles, making up the backstop, right back onto the field in front of Irwin on the mound as the count remains 1-2. 2 1/3 innings pitched so far for Brett Irwin, as this is his first time through this pilot lineup and he's only allowed 1 base runner. And a time is called as Seagal will step out of the box. Sun's starting to come out here for the first time this afternoon in Palmer on what's been a mostly cloudy day. As a 1-2 pitch is on the way, it's a slow grounder to short. Hogan charges it, fields it cleanly, throws over to first in time for out number 2. Another ground out forced by Brett Irwin. That's the 5th ground out by the Pilots in their first time through the lineup, as we're back to the top of the Pilot order with Malcolm Tipler standing in. Tipler, the leadoff hitter, batted 9th in his previous 4 games. As he stands into the left-handed batter's box, Irwin goes into his windup. First pitch. Fastball, again painting the outside corner for strike 1. Irwin wasting no time with these Pilot hitters. He's had good command of the strike zone thus far. 0-1 pitch. Another fastball. This one misses just low. It's 1-1. Irwin stands on the right side of the rubber. The 6-foot right-hander goes into his motion, the 1-1. Fastball hit high in the air, out to right field. Colin Montez barely has to move. He settles underneath it and makes the catch for the 3rd out of the inning. Pilots go 1-2-3 in the top of the 3rd as Brett Irwin works another scoreless inning. Miners coming to bat in the bottom half. We are still scoreless in Game 2 of this doubleheader. Tyler Porter is the leadoff man for the Miners in the bottom half of the 3rd. It's the 8-9-1 coming up for Tyler LeBrun's Miners, as Porter will be the first batter of the inning. Miners going with their camouflage jerseys today with gold and green lettering and numbering. The Pilots blue jerseys and gray pants with white lettering and numbering. Nick Johnson on the mound. First pitch to Porter is grounded hard to first. One bouncer to Baeza, who fields it cleanly, steps on the bag at first, and it's a 1-pitch out to start the bottom of the 3rd inning. And Nick, we're seeing from both lineups, both teams attacking very early in the count, a lot of 1 or 2 pitch outs here in the first 3 innings of this game, but neither team really able to get anything going offensively to this point.
Yeah, this is the third inning in a row where the leadoff man swings and grounds out, or swings and gets out on the first pitch. So we're attacking early, we're making contact with the ball. It's just now really putting it into play and really getting it to drop out there in the outfield.
First pitch to Caden Hogan, a fastball misses above the letters for ball one. Nick Johnson working quickly, 1-0 on the way is a fastball. This one paints the outside corner for a called strike one. Third start of the year for Johnson in his 8th appearance. He's 1-1 with a 2.96 earned run average. 1-1 pitch to Hogan, waved at and missed for strike two. Johnson, a native of San Jose, California by way of UC Davis. 2 Aggies on the mound here in game 2, facing his collegiate teammate Brett Irwin. Johnson has Hogan down in the count 1-2. Pitch on the way. Breaking ball hit in the air down the right field line, but this one will go foul out of play. That foul ball brought to you by Napa Auto Parts. If your car needs a new taillight, or if any damage happens to your car, you can always stop in and visit the folks at the Valley's locally owned Napa Auto Parts. 1-2 pitch, again fouled straight back. This one over the press box, out of play. Count remains 1-2. Temperature 65 degrees on what's turning into a partly sunny day. It's been mostly cloudy throughout the afternoon as the 1-2 pitch to Hogan is bounced back up the middle. Matt Otino collects it behind the bag at second, throws to first, a dive by Hogan, but it's not in time as the throw beats him to the bag at first for out number 2. So one shortstop grounds out to the other. Otino running to his left. Terrific range by the shortstop. Fielded the ball behind second and made the throw. A head-first slide by Hogan, but it wasn't in time as there are now 2 men out. Nobody on. Top of the order now for the Miners with Kobe Boulware. Righty on righty matchup. First pitch to Boulware. Bounced foul over towards the Pilots dugout on the third base side. It's 0-1. Boulware 0 for 1. Grounded out to short in the bottom of the first. Stands back into the right-handed batter's box and awaits the 0-1 pitch. Fastball hit in the air, foul to the right side this time, out of play as the count now 0-2. Both pitchers with impeccable command thus far today. Neither team with a walk in this one. Both pitchers attacking early and on in the count and getting ahead. 0-2. Fastball ripped back up the middle. That'll find some green in center for a base hit. Second hit of the ball game for the Miners. Second total hit in the game for that matter as Boulware reaches base with his first base hit. And the Miners have a base runner with 2 down. And the batter now Cody Huff.
And Colby Boulware is one of those guys that can really turn on a 2-out rally. If he gets on to first, he's almost a guarantee to steal second. And then puts a runner in scoring position where a single can really just score a run with his speed.
Boulware gets his lead from first. Johnson now working from the stretch. Comes set at the belt. Gives Boulware 2 looks at first. First pitch. And Huff bounces one over to short. Otino fields it cleanly. Flips to second for the force. And the side is retired. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. 1 man left on base for the Miners in the bottom of the third. We are through 3 here at Herman Brothers Field. No score in game 2 of this doubleheader between the Pilots and your Matsu Miners. First batter of the inning for the Pilots is Alex Beza as he watches a fastball miss low and get to the backstop. Count now 1-0. Brett Irwin back on the mound for his fourth inning of work, goes into his windup, the 1-0 pitch. And this one misses low as well, sending a cloud of chalk and dust into the air in front of catcher Robbie Brew, as the count is now 2-0. Irwin working quickly, 2-0, pitch to Beza's, line back up the middle. This one drops in front of Eric Webb for a base hit. First hit of game 2, and the third hit of this doubleheader for Alex Beza, who is now 3 for 4 in today's double barrel contest. He stands on first, and Garrett Spain steps into the left-handed batter's box. Just the second base runner for the Pilots. The only other reached on an error. That was E.J. Andrews on a defensive mishap by Tyler Porter. Middle infield and double play def. Irwin working from the stretch. First pitch, as Spain lays off a fastball that misses low, 1-0. Spain, 18 runs, 16 RBIs, 7 doubles, 2 triples, 14 walks, and 7 stolen bases on this 2019 season. 1-0. Fastball just misses low. Don't think Irwin agreed with that call, but regardless, it's 2-0 now. Middle infield and double play def. Third baseman Tanner Carlson playing even with the bag, as Walters holds Alex Beza at first. Righty on lefty matchup. Irwin comes set. The 2-0 pitch is bounced over towards second. This one gets past a diving Tyler Porter into right for another base hit. Second straight hit to start the top of the fourth for the Pilots. They now have men at first and second, nobody down, and the cleanup man, Matt Otino, trots into the right-handed batter's box. First trouble that Brett Irwin has got himself into this afternoon. First 2 men of the inning reach base for the Pilots. Spain at first, Beza at second, Otino at the dish, nobody down. Irwin leans in and gets his sign from Robbie Brew. Comes set at the belt. First pitch is bounced over towards short. A dive by Hogan, but he can't get it. It's into left for a base hit. Station to station base running. Everyone moves up 90 feet for the Pilots. The bases are now juiced. Nobody down. And Zach Morgan, the catcher, is coming up. 2 straight ground ball base hits, following a leadoff line drive from Alex Beza, have loaded the bases for the Pilots in the top of the fourth. There's nobody down, and pitching coach Jeff Erlob emerges from the first base dugout and trots out to the mound to try to calm Irwin down.
And Irwin's doing his job here in this situation. He's getting these hitters to ground out, well, to get grounders, but they're just finding holes in the infield to trickle into the outfield and get hits out of them. So it's tough as a pitcher to really get a ground out that could be turned as a double play, but it's a ground ball that's hit perfectly in between either the third and shortstop or the first and second baseman that trickles into the outfield. So Irwin just needs to stay calm in this situation, keep doing what he's doing, because he's getting what he wants. Just really just zone in here and try to get one out at a time with bases loaded.
It's not always about how hard you hit it. It's more or less about where you hit it. And that could not ring any truer for the Pilots here in the top of the fourth inning. They've loaded the bases. Nobody down. The batter is Zach Morgan. Righty on righty matchup. Irwin leans in. Now a good wind blowing in from center field as well as Irwin steps off and recollects himself. The right-hander comes set at the belt. First pitch to Morgan. Waved at and missed. He was ahead of the off-speeder. It's 0-1. Morgan, a .288 hitter, did not play in Game 1 of the doubleheader, but gets the start here in Game 2 behind the plate. 13 runs, 17 RBIs, 5 doubles, and 3 homers on the year for the Fresno State Bulldog. 0-1 pitch. Another breaking ball. This one misses low and outside, 1-1. Morgan 3 for 27 in his last 8 road games. And a season high, however, in hits with 3 in one game against the Miners back on July 24th. That one at Mulcahy. 1-1. Change up, misses low and outside, and Morgan's ahead in the count 2-1. Morgan stands back in the box. Irwin working from the right side of the rubber. Down in the count 2-1, trying to get himself out of a bases loaded jam. Nobody down, the 2-1 pitch. Fastball misses low. It's a hitter's count now, 3-1. Other action in the Alaska Baseball League, the Anchorage Bucks defeated the Peninsula Oilers in Game 1 of their doubleheader. And in Game 2, the Bucks once again in control, leading 2-1 in the bottom of the second. 3-1 on the way. It is popped in the air. Morgan lost his bat as Irwin catches it on the first base line for a big out number 1. Well, Morgan swung so hard that he lost control of his bat to the backstop. And he hit a little dribbler, a pop-up right on the infield that didn't have much air on it. Irwin able to catch it for out number 1, and a big out there, Nick, as no base runners able to advance on that one.
Yeah, big out there, and really good job to just, zone in and get that out. Now with a double play, can get the Miners out of this inning.
Corners playing in for the Miners, middle infield and double play depth. E.J. Andrews at the plate, first pitch. Off speed, just misses off the outside corner, 1-0. Andrews had his 6-game hit streak snapped in Game 1 of this doubleheader. Enters this ball game hitting .231. He reached on an error his first time aboard. 1-0 pitch. Fastball misses low. It's 2-0. In these last two batters, it's the first time today that Irwin has fallen behind in the count. Prior to this inning, Irwin had been painting the strike zone left and right and getting ahead of Pilots hitters. He's down 2-0. The pitch. Lined into center field. Webb is retreating, is underneath it, makes the catch. Beza tags from third, and he will score, and the Pilots strike first in the top of the fourth. It's 1-0. In the meanwhile, runner advancing from second to third. It's now runners at the corners, 2 men out. Sacrifice fly for E.J. Andrews, picks up his 15th RBI on the year as George Mendozona digs into the left-handed batter's box. Mendozona stands in, runners at first and third, 2 down. Pilots striking first in the top of the fourth. They now lead it 1-0. Mendozona stands in, .289 hitter on the season. Irwin comes set at the belt. Spain at third. Otino at first. First pitch to Mendozona. Fastball misses outside, 1-0. One run, 3 hits, no errors in this one for the Pilots. No runs, 2 hits, 1 error for the Miners. All 3 of the Pilots' hits coming here in the top of the fourth. Irwin from the stretch. Gives a couple looks to first base. Now the 1-0 pitch. Popped up. In foul ground, both Brew and Carlson giving chase. Carlson is underneath it in front of the Pilots' dugout. Makes the catch for out number 3. So 1 run, 3 hits, no errors. 2 men left on base for the Pilots in the top of the fourth as Anchorage takes the lead 1-0. Miners coming to bat in the bottom of the fourth inning. Eric Webb leads things off for the Miners, bottom half of the fourth. First pitch to him from Nick Johnson is lined into left center field, and this one will find some green. It's a base hit. Second hit of the ball game for Eric Webb, his first an infield single in the bottom of the first. He's now 2 for 2 as that brings up Colin Montez. Runner at first, nobody down to start off the inning. Montez popped out in foul ground right in front of the backstop to catcher Zach Morgan his first time around. Will take his second crack at it here, bottom of the fourth. Righty on lefty matchup. Webb gets his lead from first. Johnson comes set at the belt. Gives 2 looks to Webb, now a third. First pitch to Montez. Fastball upstairs, 1-0. Other action in the ABL, the Peninsula Oilers now have a 4-2 lead over the Anchorage Bucks. That one in the bottom of the fourth inning. The regular season finale for both the Bucks and the Oilers. 1-0 pitch to Montez. Fastball, high and outside, 2-0. Montez hitting cleanup for the first time this season. 3 hits in his last 2 games, including a double and a triple. Starting to see the ball better. Webb again gets his lead. Johnson gives him a look at first. 2-0 pitch, waved at and missed by Montez for strike 1. Some updated standings for you. After 2 games played today, the Bucks 29-13, first in the ABL. Pilots 25-17. Miners a game and a half away from them for second place at 23-18. As Johnson throws over to first, Beza catches it at his feet as Webb stands back in safely. Must-win game for the Miners here if they want home field advantage in that first round. These 2 teams will meet again in the first round of the playoffs. 2-1 pitch. Waved at and missed again by Montez. Couldn't catch up to the fastball. It's 2-2. This game will also determine the winner of the season series between these 2 ball clubs, as through the first 10 meetings, they split 5-5. Webb, 12 for 18 on the year, stands off first. Johnson throws over. Webb dives back in, and he is safe at first base. Count 2-2 to Colin Montez. Runner at first base, nobody down. Both teams with 3 hits here in Game 2. Pilots up 1-0. Middle infield and double play def. 2-2 pitch to Montez. Waved at and missed for strike 3. Second strikeout of the afternoon for Nick Johnson. Montez now 0 for 2. Runner at first, 1 out. Trotting into the right-handed batter's box is Tanner Carlson.
Now batting for the Miners, third baseman Tanner Carlson.
Carlson flew out to left in the second inning. 0 for 1 on the day. Enters this game 2, a 191 hitter on the year with 16 RBIs. Righty on righty matchup. Johnson steps off, now throws to first, and Webb once again back in safely. Webb in the top 5 of the ABL in stolen bases with 12 of them in 18 tries. First pitch to Carlson. Webb is on the move. The pitch is popped up into shallow right field. Garrett Spain is sprinting in, and he cannot get to this ball, and it lands fair. Spain now throws to second to try to get the force, and Webb is safe. So a ball hit into no man's land down the shallow right field line. And the first base umpire says it lands fair. It's a bloop single for Tanner Carlson, the 4th hit of the afternoon for the Miners, as that brings up Aaron Walters. Walters 0 for 1, currently going through a bit of a slump, 0 for 13 now in his last 4 games, as catcher Zach Morgan heads out to the mound to have a word with pitcher Nick Johnson. And Nick, that may have been the highest bloop hit I have ever seen, as I'm surprised first baseman Alex Beza didn't go after that one. Right fielder Garrett Spain was coming in at full sprint and dove, but was not quite able to make the catch. And that's always a tough read for the base runners, too.
Yeah, and then Eric Webb was stealing on the pitch, too, so The hit and run was in effect, really, messing up the infielder there. So he could have been reacting to the steal as well. But then again, ball dropping right behind him in the outfield.
Yeah, he took off, then had to go back a little bit, and then started running to second again. Interesting play for Webb. As the first pitch to Walters is grounded into right field, that's a base hit. Webb is being waved home by David Dennis, and he will score. And now the throw to third base gets by the third baseman. Carlson rounds third. He's coming home too. Walters into second base, and the Miners have the lead. It's 2-1. So a ground ball single to right field for Aaron Walters. He drives in Eric Webb. Then the throw to third to try to gun out Tanner Carlson from Garrett Spain goes to the left of Mendozona and bounces in front of him and gets away. And that allows Carlson to score. It's a 2-run single for Walters, and the Miners now lead it.
For the Miners catcher, Robbie Brew.
For Walters, that's RBIs number 19 and 20 on the year. He now stands at second base. Robbie Brew digs into the right-handed batter's box. Johnson comes set. Walters at second. First pitch to Brew. Breaking ball low. Missing outside and in the dirt. It's 1-0. Brew digs back in. He's 0 for 1 with a strikeout on the day. Nick Johnson, first sign of adversity today for the right-hander, deals 1-0. It's another breaking ball, misses in the same spot in the dirt off the outside corner, 2-0. Aaron Walters still standing at second, Miners ahead 2-1. Brew digs in, 3 for 20 on the year hitting. A catcher out of Contra Costa Community College. As the 2-0 pitch is grounded back up the middle, and this one will bounce off the glove at second. Tipler throws to first, and Brew is out on a bang-bang play at first. Brew standing past the bag with his hands on his hips in disbelief. He, along with the Miners crowd, couldn't believe it. But instead, it's the second out of the inning. Walters moves to third, and Tyler Porter comes to bat. Tyler Porter comes to bat. Bang, bang play at first. Normally the tie going to the runner, but not in that instance as Brew is called out for the second out of the inning. Porter digs in and awaits the first pitch. It's a fastball upstairs for ball one. Porter 0 for 1, grounded out to third in the second inning. Walters at third, 90 feet from the plate. 1-0 from Johnson. Hit high in the air, out to shallow left field. Otino running after it. Bradley Knighting, the left fielder, calls him off, makes the catch for out number 3. 2 runs, 3 hits, 1 error, 1 man left on base for the Miners in the bottom of the 4th, as the Green and Gold now own a 2-1 lead after 4 innings over the Pilots. Top of the fifth coming up here at Herman Brothers Field with the Miners leading the Anchorage Glacier Pilots 2-1. Brandon Monty with you alongside Nick Veland. Happy as always to be bringing you Matsu Miners baseball. The Miners taking the lead in the bottom of the fourth inning on the strength of a 2-run, 3-hit inning, as they now lead by 1. Bradley Knighting, the leadoff man for the Pilots in the top of the fifth. Will be followed by Zach Segal, then the top of the order with Malcolm Tipler. First pitch to Knighting, he inside outs it straight back foul off the chain link fence, making up the backstop here at Herman Brothers Field. It's 0-1. Brett Irwin back on the mound for the Miners in the fifth. Stands on the right side of the rubber, leans in, gets his sign from Robbie Brew. 1-0 on the way. Is lined to right field. Montez barely has to move, however, taking a couple steps to his left, makes the catch for out number 1. Bad luck there for Bradley Knighting. Got pretty good barrel on that ball, but Montez in the right place at the right time makes the catch. First man set down here in the fifth for the Pilots. That brings up Zach Segal. Righty on righty matchup. Irwin into the windup. First pitch. Popped high in the air. On the infield, right in front of home plate, Brett Irwin calls off Robbie Brew, makes the catch, and that's out number 2. A one-pitch second out for Irwin. He screamed out that he had a better read on it than Brew, made the catch right on the first base line for the second out. It's back to the top of the order for the Pilots with Malcolm Tipler. Tipler, a .248 hitter, stands in. 0 for 2 with a ground out and a flyout. First pitch, change up, misses upstairs, 1-0. Tipler went 2 for 4 in the Pilots' win last night against the Chinooks. Stands back in, 1-0 pitch on the way. Fastball misses inside, 2-0. Cloudy Sunday afternoon here in Palmer with the Pioneer Peak Mountain visible out in left field distance as the 2-0 pitch, fastball in there on the outside corner. It's 2-1. Sun's been going in and out for most of this afternoon. Still a comfortable 65 degrees. 2-1 pitch. Change up, misses low. Hitters count now 3-1 to Tipler. Tipler third in the ABL in stolen bases, also fifth in walks. As he awaits the 3-1, it's lined down the left field line, and this one is fair into the corner and could be extra bases. Tipler is rounding first and heading for 2. The throw is cut off by shortstop Caden Hogan. It's a 2-out double for Malcolm Tipler as the Pilots now have a man in scoring position. Ninth double on the year for Malcolm Tipler. He stands on second base, and coming up to bat is Alex Beza, who's had a good day thus far, 3 for 2 in the 2 games combined. He started the rally for the Pilots in the top of the fourth. He'll get another crack at it in the fifth. First pitch to him. Fastball misses outside, 1-0. No action yet in the Miners' bullpen in right field. Pilots also choosing not to warm anybody up out in left. Irwin comes set at the belt. Checks Tipler at second, gives him 2 looks. Now the 1-0 pitch is popped foul over the press box, out of play. That foul ball brought to you by the Palmer Golf Course. Summer is the perfect opportunity to work on your golf game. The Palmer Golf Course is located right in the heart of Palmer, just about 2 miles from Herman Brothers Field. Call 907-745-4653 for more information. 1-1 pitch. Change up in the dirt. Good block by Robbie Brew to save Tipler from advancing from second to third as the count now 2-1. Other ABL action in the third inning. The Oilers leading the Bucks 4-2. That is the regular season finale for both teams. Irwin comes set at the belt. Checks Tipler at second. Checks him twice. Now the 2-1 pitch is lined down the right field line, but this one will go foul, landing just to the left of the Miners' bullpen in the right field corner, as we've got 2s on the board. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and a runner at second for the Pilots in the form of Malcolm Tipler. Beza got good barrel on that ball, but was just a little bit out in front of it as he yanked it foul. Count now 2-2 to the South Jordan, Utah native by way of Hawaii Manoa, who is hitting .241. Irwin nods to Robbie Brew. Working from the stretch off the right side of the rubber. 2-2 pitch. Hit in the air. Out to left field in foul ground. Kobe Boulware is chasing after it. Settles underneath it and makes the catch for out number 3. No runs on one hit, no errors, and one man left on base for the Pilots in the top of the 5th. Bottom half coming up. The Miners leading Anchorage 2-1. Caden Hogan will lead things off for the Miners in the bottom half of the 5th as they lead the Anchorage Glacier Pilots 2-1. Brandon Monty with you alongside Nick Velan. Happy as always to be bringing you Matsu Miners baseball here on Baseball Card Night here at Earn Brothers Field. And Nick, we got our own customized baseball cards. I think this is the first time I've ever had a baseball card made for me. I'm a little flattered as the first pitch to Caden Hogan is popped in the air, foul. Alex Beza giving chase. He runs out of room as the ball sails out of play. It's 0-1.
Yeah, rookie edition cards, I guess,
Yeah, I guess so.
Limited edition.
I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. We got a whole stack here. I'm not
sure
sure
us up.
who I'll give them to, I guess, or if they'll be in high demand. I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
I mean,
as the 0-1 pitch on the way to Caden Hogan. Fastball misses below the knees. 4-1. It's a nice touch, though. I like them. They're very well made.
Yeah, very. They're very cool, too.
As Hogan digs back in, facing Nick Johnson. 1-1 pitch on the way is a fastball that misses low and outside. Now trickles to the backstop. It's 2-1. And Nick, I don't know, were you a baseball card collector growing up? Personally, I was. My favorite player was always Albert Pujols. As the 2-1 pitch to Hogan, bouncing ball over to short. Up with it is Matt Otino, throws over to first, and it's just barely in time. Miners crowd didn't agree with that one. Beza had to stretch pretty far to his right. Barely kept his toe on the bag. The throw just beat Hogan as one shortstop grounds out to the other for out number 1.
Yeah, back-to-back at bats for Hogan, where close plays at the first base bag. He has that heart and soul into this ball game, and he always sprints out any ground ball. And just kidding, out by a second there.
First pitch to Kobe Boulware, breaking ball that drops in on the outside corner for strike 1. Boulware 1 for 2 on the afternoon here in game 2. Singled his last at bat as he watches an 0-1 fastball miss low and outside, 1-1. Pilots 25-17, Miners 23-18. The Miners needing this game to stay in contention for second as the 1-1 pitch is popped up and foul ground over near first base. Alex Beza's running after it and now makes the catch in front of the Miners dugout for out number 2. 2 up, 2 down for the Miners in the bottom of the 5th. As trotting into the right-handed batter's box is the DH, Cody Huff. Huff in game 2 is 0 for 2, but he led off today's doubleheader with a home run over the left field fence as the Scottsdale, Arizona native, who now has 3 home runs on the year, stands into the right-handed batter's box. First pitch to him. Breaking ball, drops in at the knees for a called strike 1. Miners 13-7 at Herman Brothers Field this year. Pilots 11-9 away from home. As the 0-1 pitch is chopped over towards short, Otino fields it at the bag at second, throws to first in time for out number 3. No runs, no hits, no errors, no men left on base. The Miners go 1-2-3 in the bottom half of the 5th. I'll hand it over to Nick Veland for the 6th and 7th innings of this one as the Miners look to close it out and sweep the Pilots in this doubleheader. When we come back, Miners up 2-1 entering the bottom of the top of the 6th over the Anchorage Glacier Pilots.
Top of the 6th inning here at Herman Brothers Field. Miners lead this one 2-1. Call to the bullpen for the Miners, brought to you by Napa Auto Parts. Number 22, Evan Floyd, will come in to pitch the 6th inning in relief, as the St. Louis University baseball player comes in 2-0 on the season with a 2.91 ERA in 24 2/3 innings of work. 17 strikeouts to his name to 12 walks, as he'll be facing off against the 3-4-5 hitters for the Pilots. And his first pitch to Garrett Spain will miss for ball 1. Spain 1 for 2 on the ball game. Was a part of the string of hits in the 4th inning that got the Pilots across their first run of the ball game. Swing and miss for strike, 1 ball, 1 strike, and no outs to Spain at the plate. As Evan Floyd coming in for Brett Irwin. Irwin with 5 innings of work today, only giving up 1 run on 4 hits. So a great outing for him, as Floyd will come in now 2-1 to Garrett Spain at the plate. Floyd set and ready. The 2-1 pitch on its way misses outside, and the count will go to a hitter's count to Spain at 3-1. Spain, Matt Otino, and Zach Morgan all due up for the Glacier Pilots. As Floyd ready with the 3-1 pitch. That ball is popped up. Running over is Tyler Porter at second. He'll call off Aaron Walters at first and make the catch for out number 1. So 1 up, 1 down for Evan Floyd, which will bring up Matt Otino.
Shortstop Matt Otino.
Otino 1 for 2 on the day with a strikeout and a single. Otino coming in, righty on righty matchup against Evan Floyd on the mound. Floyd Floyd ready, first offering on its way, misses outside for ball 1. Quickly ahead goes Otino, 1 ball, no strikes. Floyd shakes the first sign given to him by Robbie Brew, agrees with the second. 1-0 pitch on its way, popped up. Running over is Robbie Brew, who'll go as far as he can, but that ball will go out of play in foul territory for strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike, and 1 out. Here in the top of the 6th inning, Miners have 2 runs on 5 hits and 1 error. To the Pilots, 1 run on 4 hits and 0 errors. As Floyd gets set and ready on the mound. Otino ready in the right-handed batter's box. 1-1 pitch from Floyd on its way is popped up again. But this one will stay in play as Caden Hogan waves off Colby Bowler in left field. Gets under it and makes the catch for out number 2. So a pop-up to second to start the inning, a pop-up to short to get the second out of the inning, which brings up Zach Morgan. Floyd 2 up, 2 down, looking to work his way out of this inning very efficiently.
Now batting for the Pilots catcher, Zach Morgan.
Morgan 0 for 2 on the day with a ground out and a pop-up. And he'll get his 3rd plate appearance here in the 6th inning. Floyd set and ready on the mound. Delivers the first offering. As that ball is popped up, that ball will stay in play. Aaron Walters under it, makes the catch for out number 3. 3 pop-ups, 3 outs in the top of the 6th inning, brings us to the bottom half of the 6th inning. Pilots had no runs, no hits, no errors, and no one left on. We head to the bottom of the 6th. Miners lead 2-1. Eric Webb to lead things off here in the bottom half of the 6th inning. Miners hold a 2-1 lead, looking for some insurance runs here in the bottom of the 6th inning, as the 3, 4, 5 hitters for the Miners are due up. Eric Webb, Colin Montez, and Tanner Carlson. First pitch to Webb on its way. Will miss for ball 1. 1-0 is the count to Eric Webb at the plate. Nick Johnson coming in for his 6th inning of work. Only giving up 2 runs on 5 hits. Gets Webb to swing and miss for strike 1. Count evens up at 1-1. Johnson ready with the 1-1 pitch. That ball is popped up into right field. Garrett Spain retreats, gets under it, and will make the catcher out number 1. So jot that down as an F9 if you're keeping track at home. Brings up Colin Montez to the plate. Montez 0 for 2 on the day. Struck out and popped up, as we're not seeing as many strikeouts as we normally do in a ball game. Only 4 combined from both teams. through 5.5 innings. First pitch to Montez on its way. Popped up out of play, and the count will go to no balls and 1 strike. Montez gets set and ready in the left-handed batter's box. Righty on lefty matchup between him and Nick Johnson. 0-1 pitch misses outside for ball 1. One's on the board, 1 ball, 2 strikes, and 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th. 1-1 pitch on its way. Montez checking his swing. Able to pull it back in time, as that will go down for ball 2. Some action warming up in the Pilots bullpen, as well as the Miners bullpen. 2-1 pitch on its way. Popped up to center field. E.J. Andrews will get called off by Bradley Knighting, and that ball will be caught for out number 2. 2 flyouts to start the inning for the Miners. Brings up Tanner Carlson to the plate. This is game 2 of the doubleheader today. Game 1, Miners were able to shut out the Pilots 3-0. Game 2, a reminder, 7-inning ball game as this ball is flown out to right field. Running is Garrett Spain. He'll get under it and make the catch for out number 3. 3 pop-ups in the top of the 6th inning. 3 flyouts in the bottom half of the 6th inning. Brings us to the top of the 7th inning. Miners lead this one 2-1. The Miners 3 outs away from sweeping the Pilots on the day. We'll be right back. E.J. Andrews to lead things off here in the top of the 7th inning. Final inning and last chance for the Pilots. They need 1 run to tie, 2 runs to take the lead, and force a bottom half of the 7th inning. Miners and Pilots tied on the season with 5 games apiece. And if both of these teams, the winner of this game will decide a lot of things. Grant Sloan in to pitch. First pitch swinging to right field, running over is Colin Montez. He'll dive and not able to make the catch, but it will go foul as the count goes to no balls and 1 strike. Miners able to win this game and then win out the rest of the season. It won't matter what the Pilots do. They will be hosting the Pilots in the first round. Pilots win this game, they will automatically host in the first round down in Anchorage. And then, so Miners need to win if they want any chance at hosting the first round. Sloan set and ready on the mound, ahead in the count 0-1. 0-1 pitch misses low for ball one, count leaving up at 1-1. Indiana pitcher Grant Sloan in to close things out here in the top of the 7th. 1-1 pitch on its way, swung on and missed with a deadly curveball, and that will go down as a strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and no outs to E.J. Andrews at the plate. 1-2 pitch on its way from Sloan, swung on and missed for strike 3. First out of the inning, 2 outs away for a Miners win. George Mendozano
Batting for the Pilots, third baseman George Mendozano.
It will come in to hit here with 1 out. 0 for 2 on the day with a strikeout and a pop fly. As he gets ready in the left-handed batter's box, righty on lefty matchup between him and Grant Sloan in this situation. Sloan ready, kicks and deals the first offering. Off-speed pitch in there for strike 1. He's really working his movement well with his pitches. Ahead in the count now, no balls and 1 strike. Mendozano ready at the plate. 0-1 pitch on its way, misses low for ball 1. Sloan toes the mound, looks into Robbie Brew to get his sign. Declines the first one, agrees with the second one. 1-1 pitch on its way, misses low for ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike, and 1 out here in the top of the 7th inning. Oh for 2 on the plate. 2-1 pitch on its way, fouled out of play. And the count will go to 2-2. Pilots on the day, 1 run on 4 hits and 1 error. The Miners 2 runs on 5 hits and 1 error. As Sloan looks in, agrees with the 2-2 pitch, and that's on its way. That ball's lined down the third base line. That will just go foul, as that had extra bases written all over it if it stayed fair. Count will remain 2-2, with George Mendozano at the plate and Bradley Knighting waiting on deck. Sloan wipes off the mound and looks in to get his pitch from Robbie Brew behind the plate. Agrees with the first one, kicks and delivers the 2-2 pitch. That ball will miss outside, and the count will go full to George Mendozano. Seven, 8, 9 hitters for the Pilots, all 0 for 2 on the day. As the payoff pitch from Sloan swung on and missed for strike 3. 2 up, 2 strikeouts for 2 outs. That will bring up Bradley Knighting to the plate and the Pilots' last chance here in the 7th. As Miners are looking to go from a 5-game losing streak to winning 2 at home here today. 2 outs, Bradley Knighting at the plate, 0 for 2 on the day, and the first pitch fouled straight back for strike 1. 2 flyouts for Knighting, 1 to center, 1 to right. As Sloan looks in to deliver the 0-2 pitch, agrees with the first sign given to him. 0-1 pitch on its way, misses outside, and the count leaving up at 1-1. Good crowd here at Herman Brothers Field. There's a lot of Pilots fans are here down on their side, as well as a good, strong support from the Miners. 1-1 pitch misses inside for ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike, and 2 outs. Here in the top of the 7th inning, where the Miners lead this one 2-1 in the Pilots' last opportunity. 2-1 pitch from Sloan on its way, fouled straight back, and Sloan's 1 pitch away from striking out the side and ending this ball game. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Knighting stands in the left-handed batter's box. Sloan ready on the mound. The 2-2 pitch. Line down the third base line, and that will go out of play, foul. Count remains 2-2. Miners have the day off tomorrow, but on Tuesday they have the Chinooks here on MTA Fan Appreciation Night, followed on Wednesday at 6 o'clock in Chugiak against the Chinooks. Then on Thursday is when all the fun begins and the playoffs start. Sloan ready with the 2-2 pitch. That's swung on and missed for strike 3. 3 up, 3 strikeouts swinging for Grant Sloan. Can't ask for a better save than that as the Miners win this one 2-1. Final score sheet for this game: Pilots 1 run on 4 hits, 1 error. The Miners 2 runs on 5 hits and 1 error. Miners are in victory formation for the second time in this ball game. All Miners have to do now is win out to secure a home field advantage, as the Miners go on to win this one 2-1 and own the tiebreaker against the Anchorage Glacier Pilots. Tomorrow, the Miners are off, but back in action here on Tuesday at 6. We'll have all that action for you here on YouTube Live. For Brandon Monty, this has been Nick Velan. We'll have the post-game show coming up shortly with the player of the game and some coach interviews, as we thank you for watching and hope you have a great night.